guys, what is good? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now listen, today's video I think is going to be a pretty funny one because I believe that, or I hope that a lot of you relate to this one, because if you don't, then I'm just an idiot. You know what Stockx is, right? It's the marketplace of sneakers. I'm sure we all kind of know them by now. You basically can buy and sell through them. It works on kind of a bidding system, so people have asks and people have bids, and essentially if you have a shoe that you want to sell, you set a price, and whoever matches that, you sell the shoe, vice versa. So I was looking back through my buying history on Stockx, and I just thought this is a joke. This is hilarious because I didn't even want or need a lot of these on the list. So I thought I'd bring them over here because I can definitely guarantee there is a lot of you guys out there who have done exactly the same thing that I have done with a lot of these purchases on Stockx. So I've got a decent amount of shoes underneath me. I'm gonna start pulling them out and let's get into it. Right, so the first one is a Yeezy 700. So this one's not that bad, but when you hear the story, you'll probably think it's pretty bad. So the Yeezy 700 V3 Alva. You guys obviously saw the review on these. You guys know how much I like this pair of shoes, but what I didn't tell you was the story behind it. So before these actually released, I placed a bid on Stockx. I was trying to be slick. I was trying to get an early review out. Now you're gonna see a little bit of a trend go on with a lot of these shoes and me just trying to get early reviews. It never works out, but essentially I just keep making the same mistake. Come release day, I managed to grab a pair for retail, and then I think the very next day I just forgot about the bid that I put up, and I managed to get this pair of shoes. So obviously the price slowly went down, and I paid £330 for this pair of shoes. Considering this shoe retails at 170, I overpaid by a lot. Considering I have a retail pair, I really didn't need to pay that much for this whatsoever. So this one definitely goes down as a pretty huge L that I took. I guess you could call it an L. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video, there's a trend going along with people forgetting their bids on Stockx. And I'm saying people, really I just mean me, and I'm hoping that you guys chime in down in the comment section and just reassure me that I'm not that much of an idiot. Just tell me that you've done this before as well. Alright, so this next one is a pair of Yeezy Quantums. Now, like a lot of these on the list, there's going to be a funny story that goes with it, but of course let's unbox the pair. So this one's not that bad. It's not as bad as the first one I told you, but yes, I definitely made a bit of a mistake for this one. So the Yeezy Quantum Barium, surprisingly to a lot of you, maybe you guys forgot, but this was actually a pretty big release. This was the second colorway of the Yeezy Quantum, and a lot of people wanted this pair of shoes. So I actually took an L on release day. There was just a lot of demand for this pair of Yeezy Quantums. They sold out pretty instantly. Now, after I took that L on the release day, I went over to eBay and I tried to grab myself a pair. Now, I did manage to get my pair on eBay. All was good. I pretty much paid retail for this pair, so I was super happy about that, and life was good. And then 3 months ago, I got a notification from Stockx saying thank you for your purchase. And of course, it was for these. I forgot that I had a bid up from all the way back when these originally released, and so I had to pay for this pair of shoes. My bid went through for £207. Now that is under retail, but if you look at the price on this right now, you can get these for even lower than that. You can get this for about 180, maybe 190 pounds here in the UK. So I slightly overpaid, but also I really did not need another pair of these. Right, so another one on my list, and this one's probably the most painful one because I paid so much for it. So the Jordan 4 Sashiko, this is actually quite a recent pair that I got. I had seen these kind of leaks and rumors of this shoe for a long time. It kind of got me a little bit hyped, maybe a little bit overhyped, I must admit. So what I went and did was I was like, you know what, it's a good 2 weeks before the release. Let me chuck a bid up on Stockx. Now at that time when I put the bid up on Stockx, obviously for an early pair, it's very, very expensive. So I did put quite a high bid, and I was like, you know know what, if this gets accepted, I can do an early review and it would all work out. And yeah, that didn't happen. But essentially, I paid £270 for this pair of shoes, and yeah, it came in late. Now, of course, then release day swung around, and these were pretty easy to grab at retail, and I was pretty salty about that. This is all due to me being an idiot, and it's not Stockx's fault whatsoever. I just keep forgetting and keep putting ridiculous bids up on Stockx. So this one, for not being able to get the early review out, which actually, you know what, to be fair, could be Stockx's fault. They took forever to ship this out. Right, now one I don't actually have with me. It's at my house, not at the studio. I just wanted to throw it in here because this is definitely pretty big. But essentially, it is the Yeezy MNVN in the bone colorway. Now this one's not the worst, but at the same time, I really didn't need it. So actually, the release of these, they were super limited. So of course, I took an L and I just put a bid up on Stockx just to see what happens. I definitely wasn't the highest bidder. There was quite a few people above me, but I just chucked it out there. And then I think like a whole month later, it finally got accepted and I got the pair of shoes. Now by that time, I already had the MNVN Phosphor, which I was happy with. And now I have this bone pair, which I paid £270 for. Keep in mind the retail on that is 180, so yeah, I definitely paid quite a bit for that pair of shoes. But yeah, I would definitely put that one as pretty high. Now, let's get into some other ones because they're pretty bad. Right, so we've got a Yeezy 380, and this one's pretty annoying because I'm just never going to wear it. So as I open this up, you can probably already know what pair it is. And of course, it still has the good old Stockx tag. So yes, the Yeezy 380 Blue Oat. I don't know how many of you actually remember the release of these, but these were actually pretty limited and hard to get. I personally tried to get them for a review and I couldn't. So that kind of showed me that they were pretty limited. Definitely one of the more limited Yeezy 380s that we have seen, maybe even the most limited. Because I know these were not in high demand. They pretty much tanked as soon as they released. Yeah, I had a bid up on Stockx, and of course it freaking got accepted. I don't even know why I put a bid up. I really cannot even remember, but I had a bid up. Maybe it was to just do a review on them, and obviously the bid got accepted late and they shipped it out late. So by the time I got the review out, you know, it's a bit further down the line than you would like, you know, as a sneaker reviewer. You want them as soon as possible. So I ended up paying not that bad. I think I paid about £215 for these. I think these retail for 200, so it's not that bad, but it's still, I mean, you can get these for so freaking cheap right now, probably about £150 on the resale market. So way overpaid in terms of that aspect of things, and definitely a shoe that, given all of the other colorways of the Yeezy 380s, would definitely not be on my highest list of shoes that I would want to wear. Right, now the next one, Shock, is another 380. Now this one really isn't that bad, but I did just want to add it in here because I really did not need it. So I actually bought two of these on Stockx, and both have stories behind them. But let me unbox them first before we get into that. So yes, this is the Yeezy 380 Calcite Glow. So the story starts back before these released. I put a bid up because the prices seemed pretty reasonable, and I wanted an early review. So the bid got accepted, and this was like a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks before the actual release date. So I had a lot of hopes for this one. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get an early review out. It is going to slap, and it's gonna be awesome. But plans did not go that way. I think, like I said in the review, these came in way late. I actually got these after I got the retail pairs. So I entered a bunch of raffles for them because I was just like, yeah, the Stockx pair isn't coming in. I managed to hit on like Adidas and a bunch of other raffle spots. I think I ended up getting like 4 pairs. So I really did not need this pair. Not to even say that I overpaid for these at £250. These retail at 220. And I was just like, well, hell, I'll just keep this one and I'll return the other ones because I only need 1 pair. And then a couple days passed and I saw that the prices were going super low. So for some reason in my head, I thought, you know what, let me put another bid up. And yeah, I bought another pair, and actually it's kind of a cool story because I got that pair for £190 all fees included. So I kind of got a steal on that one, or at least in my opinion, for this pair of shoes. But if you kind of take a look at the resale on this, if I just had waited, I would have saved myself a good 50-60 pounds at least. So the moral of the story here is to just really be careful about the bids you put up on StockX. Again, this could just be my problem that I'm having with StockX, that I just kind of forget that I have bids up there. But of course, let me know down in the comment section. Is this happen to you? Do you keep forgetting bids? Do you just get these random notifications from StockX? Because yeah, it would definitely make me feel better if I'm not the only one making these stupid ass purchases. But either way, that pretty much wraps it up for the video. Thank you so much for coming through, liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I will catch you all in the next one. But until then,